As we edge closer to the 2024 elections, the buzz isn't just about who will win the White House or control Congress. No, the stakes are much higher than that. The impact of these elections will ripple through every corner of the global economy. Politicians know it, Wall Street knows it, and so do world leaders. The cocktail parties from New York to Brussels are buzzing with whispered conversations, hushed tones, and speculative glances. Who's in? Who's out? And what will the aftershocks be? Join us as we uncover how the 2024 elections will shape the global economy. The candidates. So who are the main players? Let's get the dirt. In the US, all eyes are on the big contenders. The Republicans, with their powerhouse lineup of conservative champions, are hammering away at policies that could reshape tax laws, environmental regulations, and trade deals. The Democrats, meanwhile, have their own stars rising, pushing for more robust social spending and climate-friendly policies. Oh, but don't forget the dark horses. Independent candidates have been lurking around the shadows, gathering their own group of high-profile billionaires, lobbyists, and supporters. A third-party spoiler could throw the entire election into chaos. Remember 2016? It's anyone's guess what surprises 2024 might bring. If you think that's juicy, let's add a global twist. The US isn't the only stage for this drama. Europe's political elite are already taking bets. The EU is nervous about how the election results might impact their fragile economy, still recovering from the war in Ukraine and energy crises. Trade deals, especially with China, could be renegotiated based on who holds power post-2024. It's not just about America. This is a global soap opera, guys. The markets. As election season looms, markets start to feel the pressure, sending waves of speculation through Wall Street and global financial hubs. It's like a high-stakes poker game where no one knows which card will flip next, but everyone's trying to predict the winner. For investors, this period is a cocktail of anxiety and opportunity. Historically, stock markets tend to get a bit jittery during election cycles, especially when the race is tight. Right now, as 2024 approaches, portfolios are being reshuffled, positions are being hedged, and millions are riding on the back of potential policy shifts. But it's not just about the next president. It's about what comes with the win. Changes in fiscal policy, taxation, trade agreements, and regulatory landscapes that could rock the global economy. If the Republicans take the helm, Wall Street might throw a victory party. Deregulation is music to investors' ears, especially in industries like oil, gas, and finance. Lower corporate taxes and fewer restrictions mean more room to rake in profits. But there's always a flip side, especially for international markets. A push for America First could mean higher tariffs, strained trade relations, and potentially rocky roads for multinational corporations relying on smooth global partnerships. Europe, Asia, and emerging markets could feel the squeeze as isolationist policies shift supply chains and increase costs. If the Democrats manage to maintain or expand their influence, the response from the markets could be more measured. Investors might brace for increased regulation in key sectors such as big tech, banking, and energy. While this might slow short-term profits, it could create a more stable long-term growth path. One area poised to benefit under a Democrat-led administration: renewable energy. The green energy market could surge with an influx of government incentives and investment, further shifting global energy dynamics. Ultimately, while some investors may strike it rich, others could face major losses. The only certainty right now is uncertainty itself. The economy. Once the dust settles after the 2024 election, the impact on the global economy will be profound, regardless of who comes out on top. The political shifts that occur could drive major economic changes, both domestically and internationally, and set the tone for the next several years. Republican victory scenario. If Republicans gain control, expect policies favoring lower taxes and deregulation, which could fuel short-term economic growth. Large corporations, especially in energy, finance, and manufacturing, are likely to benefit from relaxed regulations and incentives to bring production back to the US. This would lead to a boost in stock markets, with business sectors celebrating deregulation efforts and tax reforms aimed at corporations and high-income earners. However, this approach might also increase the federal deficit due to reduced revenue from tax cuts. Meanwhile, increased domestic production and isolationist policies could raise tensions in global trade, especially with China. Higher tariffs and renegotiated trade deals could make foreign goods more expensive, impacting inflation and consumer costs. Democratic victory scenario. A Democratic victory would likely lead to a more cautious, regulation-focused approach. Their policies tend to prioritize climate action, social welfare programs, and progressive taxation. This would result in significant investments in renewable energy, green technologies, and infrastructure projects, pushing the U.S. economy towards sustainability. Clean energy stocks, for instance, would likely see a substantial boost as the government commits to addressing climate change head-on. However, the expansion of social programs and climate initiatives could lead to increased government spending, potentially elevating concerns over national debt. This might force the Federal Reserve to maintain higher interest rates to combat inflation, creating challenges for borrowers and businesses. International relations could stabilize, as a Democratic administration might focus on strengthening global alliances, which would improve trade relations and reduce the chances of economic sanctions or trade wars with major partners like China and the EU. Global ripple effects. Regardless of the winner, the global economy will feel the aftershocks. In Europe, leaders will be particularly interested in U.S. climate policies and trade agreements. A Republican win may lead to more protectionist policies, hurting European exports, while a Democratic win could see closer collaboration on climate goals and tech regulations. China will remain a key player. A Republican administration would likely continue a hardline stance on trade and intellectual property disputes, which could disrupt global supply chains. A Democratic administration, however, might favor diplomacy and trade negotiations, which could ease tensions and open markets further, stabilizing global trade. In short, the outcome of the 2024 election will be pivotal for the global economy, with the potential to redefine trade relationships, corporate landscapes, and environmental policies for years to come. As we head into the 2024 elections, the global economy is standing at a crossroads, and the outcome will send shockwaves across markets worldwide. So, what's your take? Which industries do you think will thrive or struggle depending on the results? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get a conversation started. Make sure to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into how politics, business, and the economy intersect.